here. But I wanted to start with all of us lighting a candle and sort of, you can use the candle as a focal point for your intention or your dedication for class today. I think something really nice about a candle this time of year is that it's really a symbol of hope. And you know, we've just wrapped up Hanukkah last week, which my family celebrates. And Hanukkah is really an expression of hope when you light the candles, and it's an expression of hope that the light will continue on, even though there's a worry that it may not because there's not enough oil. But anyways, I wanted to light a candle together as an idea of sort of letting our own internal light shine and using our intention that we set in class to help us sort of fuel that light, and then also honor the time of year where it's dark and we're sort of turning inward. We're becoming a little bit more reflective with the shorter days. So anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I wish you all a really nice couple weeks, and when you're ready, light your candle. So go ahead and take a seated position on your mat, whatever's comfortable for you. And place your palms together at your heart. And go ahead and just drop your chin a little closer to your chest, getting long through the back of the neck, and close your eyes. Just let them softly shut. Begin breathing through your nose, long inhale, long exhale. I invite you to take this moment to set an intention or dedication for your practice today, but it could also be for how you want your sort of holiday time, your winter solstice, whatever your traditions are, how you want them to be. Go ahead and open your eyes, lift your chin, inhale, and just open out the arms, lift the heart skyward, and then turn right hand behind you, left hand on your right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. See if you can find your sits bones and look over your right shoulder. Alyssa, if you have a candle that you want to light for the class, we all just lit a candle for winter solstice and for intention setting. And then keep a grip with your left hand on that right knee and gently drop your left shoulder close to that left knee and bring that right arm up and over. So getting nice and long through the right side of the body while staying rooted through your sits bones. And then place your right hand on your left knee, straighten out your body so you're sort of equal between your sits bones, and then see if you can send your heart up towards the sky as you drop your chin towards the cross in your arms. And really use your breath to expand the upper back, lifting the heart higher. And then let go with the left hand, keep a grip with the right hand, and circle the left arm up and over as you drop the right shoulder towards the right knee. And then come on up and bring your left hand behind you to the floor. Sit up tall in the tips of your sits bones and turn your gaze over your left shoulder. And release the twist, and we're going to just lay onto our backs and just let your legs kind of naturally uncross as you go. Draw them in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Let your knees separate hip distance. Be nice and loose through your thighs. And just feel the thigh bones in the hip joint gently moving as you rock side to side. And clasp the hands together, place them around the right knee, straighten the left leg. Let the right knee open out into your natural hip turnout. Flex the left foot and spin the right ankle. And then bring that right knee across the body, extend the right arm out, and look to the thumb of the right hand if that feels comfortable for your neck. If not, just keep your gaze upward. And notice that on the exhale, your knee drops down a little bit closer to the floor. Your spine relaxes a little bit more into the twist. So just notice the effects of your breath, just holding this pose. And come on back up. Switch your legs around. Straighten the right leg, clasp the hands around the left knee. Let the left knee open out into your natural hip turnout. Flex the right foot and then draw that left knee up towards the left shoulder and spin the left ankle. And then bring the knee across the body. Extend the left arm out. Gaze is up at the ceiling, or you can look over at your left thumb. And then again, just work with your breath. Long inhale, long exhale. Just sink a little deeper into this pose. And unwind, draw your knees in. We're going to grab behind our thighs. You're going to bend and straighten your leg and create a little momentum, rocking back and forth, staying round through the spine. And then come on up to a seated position. Place your right toes behind your left heel. Sit up nice and tall. Feel the tips of your sit bones. You can even lift yourself up a little bit, crown of the head lifting up. Let your knees get heavy, your hips get soft. And set yourself down. Place your hands out in front by your feet. Hollow out the belly. So imagine that little beach ball in your lap curling over the beach ball without touching it and pointing your nose towards your feet. And then take a big inhale and lift the back of the heart up higher through your shoulder blades. And come on up. And let's switch our feet around. So place your left toes behind your right heel. Hands behind the hips again, lifting up to the tips of the sits bones or even off the mat if that feels good. Knees heavy, hips soft. Nice long spine. And then put your hands in front of you. Little mini beach ball is back in your lap, curling over the beach ball. Point the nose towards the toes. Inhale the back of the heart up through the shoulder blades. And come on up. And swing your knees around. Come to your hands and knees. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Start with a cat by dropping the tailbone, back of the heart lifts up, hollowing out the belly, drop the crown of the head, and take a full breath cycle here. And exhale into cow. Curl the tailbone up, drop the rib cage down, lift the heart, lengthen through the abdominals. Exhale back to cat, drop the tailbone, lift the back of the heart, hollow the belly. Back to cow, rib cage down, curl the tailbone up, lift the heart. And come on back into neutral. Nice straight spine, engage through your core. We're going to lift our right heel up to hip height and lift our left arm to our left ear. And imagine there's a little teacup on your back. You're trying to keep that tea from spilling. So keep your back nice and straight. We're going to bring the right leg out to the right, the left hand out to the left. You can let them each drop a couple inches below the tabletop height. Just keep your back nice and straight and steady. And then bring it back to center. This time, point your toes, lift your fingers and your toes, but try to keep the back straight. And then come on back to neutral. Drop your fingers and toes a few inches back, out to the side, back straight, really engage through your core. And then pass back to center. We're going to move through center, crossing the midline, extending back to pigeon. So lower your chest down, reach your fingertips forward. You can put your forehead on the mat, or if you want, you can come up to your forearms. If you would like a little movement, I always like a little movement in my hips, especially in the beginning. You can rock side to side, just kind of explore the edges of sensation, like what you're feeling, resistance, what feels good, what feels hard. Just use your breath and your movement. And then come on back up to your hands and knees. We're going to do that same sequence on the other side. So begin with that nice strong tabletop position, shoulders over your wrists, hips are over your knees. And we're going to lift the left heel up to hip height, lift the right arm to the right ear, hollow out the belly so that you're strong and straight through the core. And then drop your fingers and toes a couple of inches and bring the right arm to the right, the left leg to the left. Keep your back straight. That tea is full in that cup. And then come on back to your center place. Point the toes, lift the fingers and the toes. Try to keep the back as straight as you can. And come on back to neutral. Drop a couple inches out to the side. Strong core, straight spine. And back to center. We're going to cross the midline and extend into pigeon. So reach that left foot back. Fingertips can reach forward, forehead to the mat, or you can come to your forearms. Again, you can find movement or you can hold. Just keep your breath flowing. And then come on back up to hands and knees, but separate your knees as wide as your mat. Toes are together. We're going to reach our fingertips forward and press our sits bones back to our heels, laying our chest on the mat, forehead to the mat, Balasana, child's pose. And then come on up. We're just going to come forward into a modified push-up. So you may want to straighten out your knees just a little bit. You're going to come into that position as if you're going to do a push-up. So your core is really engaged. You're kind of hollowing out your abs. Your glutes are engaged. And then we're going to slowly start softening the glutes, softening the belly, dropping the hip bones down towards the mat, towards the wrists, and lifting the gaze, lifting the heart. And just breathe some length into your abdominals. And then on your next exhale, see if you can crunch your shoulders up towards your ears. Your neck is kind of going to disappear here. You're getting longer through your abdominals. Just be mindful of your lower back. If you feel any tension, back off a little bit. Don't bend so much. And then go ahead and press through the palms and give yourself that nice long neck again, shoulders pressing down away from the ears. You may want to engage your glutes a little bit. Definitely want to engage your abs to support the push. And then we're going to press back to puppy pose. So keeping your sits bones up in the air, reaching forward with your fingertips, you're going to drop your chest to the ground and really stretch through the chest, through the front of the body, the shoulders. Just breathe. And come on up and find your way up into downward dog. And just take it gently at first, walking in place. Maybe explore how your hips are feeling, how your back is feeling. Just move around a little bit. Get a sense of how it feels and where you are this morning, today. I guess it's not morning anymore. And then walking in place, we're going to start to fold our feet over and stretch the front of the foot as we stretch the back of the lower leg. And then switch. And wake up the toes, wake up the arches, the Achilles. And go ahead and just take your downward dog. Feet are hip distance apart, reaching the heels towards the mat, reaching the fingertips towards the front of the mat. And as you exhale, begin walking your feet up towards your hands. Separate your feet hip distance. Bend your knees deeply. Grab onto your elbows. Let the weight of the arms, the weight of the head, draw the spine long. And release the arms. Bend the knees deeply. Let's round all the way up. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Press them back. Push them down. Up, back, and down. Okay, we're going to move into Surya Namaskara A. Lose a layer here. Hope you're enjoying your candle. You have a place where you can see it as you practice. It helps you remember your intention and dedication. So closing down your eyes, just place your hands at your heart. Reconnect with that intention or dedication. Reconnect with your breath. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Palms join. Look to your thumbs. Draw your hands to your heart. Fold at the waist. Place your hands on your thighs and just drop the crown of the head. If you're like me, don't catch your hair on fire with your candle. That would be bad. And inhale, long spine, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step back to plank. I'm gonna take a Chaturanga here. Let's start by doing a supported Chaturanga. So knees to the mat, really engage through your core. Draw your elbows towards your ribs as you lower down. And then when your chest hits the mat, point the toes and lift your chest using just your back muscles. Let's hold for one breath cycle. Long inhale, long exhale. And then exhale back into that modified push-up. Turn your toes under, find your way to plank, and press back to downward dog. 5 breaths. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale, step or jump your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing, arms reaching out and up, palms join. And hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the crown of the head. Hands can be to the thighs or to the mat, your choice. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana, strong core as you lower down. And then lift up an upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. And just a reminder, you can do plank instead of Chaturanga. You can always do the modified Chaturanga we did the first cycle with your knees. Your choice, you can alternate. Just pay attention to what's working for you and stick with that. It's your practice. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale, step or jump your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing, arms reaching out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart and fold, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palm, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. 5 Ujjayi breaths here. As you're breathing, pay attention to what's happening with your hands. Really press with your fingertips, especially your index finger and thumb, giving them lots of strength to support your upper body. Then reach your heels towards the mat behind you, getting long through the back of the leg. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing, arms reaching out and up. Exhale, full drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. 5 Ujjayi breaths. Use the breath to explore what's happening in your body, where you're feeling resistance, heat, sensation. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, inhale your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Moving into Surya Namaskara B. You're gonna bend the knees, drop the fingertips towards the floor, sweep them up, gaze to the thumbs. Hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine, lift the navel. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Step the right foot up between the hands, drop the left knee, come to your fingertips and lift the chest. From here, you're going to try to sink into your hips, so really allow that right hip joint to melt, soften that left hip flexor to lengthen. And breathe. And then we're going to press our sits bones back and lift our right toes up towards the ceiling and fold over. Try to keep the left knee a little bit soft so that your right hamstring and right calf get length without a lot of stress. And then put the sole of the foot back down, come back into that high lunge position. Step back to plank and either hold plank or take your Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra. If you're in plank, let's all head back to downward dog together. Same thing on the left side. So step forward with the left foot, drop the right knee, come to your fingertips, lift the chest, and then again, begin sinking, melting, moving into your hips. And the hands on the mat, we're going to send our sits bones back, lift our left toes skyward and fold over that left leg, keeping the left knee soft, breathing lengthen to the back of the left leg. Go ahead and join the sole of the foot to the mat, come into your high lunge, step back to plank and hold your plank or take your Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. And everyone back to downward dog for 5 Ujjayi breaths. Long inhale through the nose, long exhale through the nose. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale, step or jump your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees, sit over your heels, sweep the arms up, join the palms. And then draw the hands to the heart, fold over, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga push up. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. This time we're going to step outside the hands with the right foot. Again, drop the left knee to the mat. Lift the chest. You can stay here or you can come to your forearms. You can also find a little movement rocking side to side, kind of moving around that right hip joint, coming at it from a few different angles. If you're on your forearms, come on back to your palms. We're going to send our sits bones to the back of the mat. Point the toes, so really press the sole of the foot into the mat so you get a nice stretch to the front of the foot. You can drop to your forearms if that feels okay to you. And breathe. And then come on back into that high lunge. We're going to step back to plank. You can hold here or take your Chaturanga push-up into your cobra, upward, back to your downward. Same thing on the left side. So step the left foot outside the left hand. Go ahead and drop that right knee down and stay on your palms, or you can come to your forearms. If you want to find a little movement through the hips, give that a go. If you're on your forearms, coming back to your palms, we're going to send our sits bones to the back of the mat, point the toes, press the sole of the foot into the mat, folding forward. And then come on back into that high lunge. Step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Hold for 5 Ujjayi breaths. Moving the heat through the body with the breath. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees so you're sitting over your heels. Sweep the arms up. Draw the hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Step forward with the right foot. Left foot turns flat to the side. Come on up to Veerabhadrasana A. We're going to grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. Lift that left arm up. So almost like you're lifting the arm a little bit out of the shoulder joint. And really stabilize your lower body and tip to the right. It's getting long through the left side of the body. And let's draw 3 little circles on the ceiling. Try not to lean forward too far. So you're really just moving kind of through your rib cage, circling the spine. You will kind of visualize your rib cage circling around the spine. The next time that you're at the top of your circle, hold there, pull up on your wrist a little bit. Get a little more open through the heart, longer through the abdominals. And then release, hands down. Step back to Chaturanga Dandasana. You can hold in plank or take your push-up. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Same thing on the left side. Step forward with the left foot. Turn the right foot flat. Get your balance there through your feet and then sweep the arms up. Grab onto the right wrist. Give a little tug with the left hand. Stabilize through your lower body as you tip to the left. Really breathe into that right rib cage, letting it expand with the breath. And then draw 3 circles on the sky with the ceiling, depending on where you are. Lift the heart up. At the top of your left circle, let's all meet there. And give an extra pull on that wrist, lift the heart. Get long through your abdominals. Release. Hands down, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog for 5 breaths. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Inhale your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees, sit over your heels, sweep the arms up, palms together. palms to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Step the right foot forward. Sweep the arms up. We're going to hold here in Veerabhadrasana A. Look to the thumbs. Drop the shoulders. See if you can get your rib cage to draw together and down. So really engaging through your core. Right knee is sitting nicely on top of that right ankle. And open out to Veera B. So let that left hip open. You might let that left foot turn out a little bit more than usual. Really engage to your inner right thigh so your knee is still over that ankle. Nice strong arms. Gaze over the tip of the middle finger on the right hand. And then flip the right palm up. Sweep the fingertips up. Lightly rest the left hand on the left leg. Bend the right knee as you reach higher with the right hand, kind of reaching back. So really opening through the right side of the body. Slowly start straightening that right leg, reaching back a little bit more with the right hand, and then bring your body up, arms out to the side. Both legs are straight. We're going to move into triangle pose. So hinge at the waist, drop the hand to the right leg, left arm comes up, tuck your tailbone in. So try to engage so that you're flat on the back side of your body. You can look forward or you can look up at your left thumb. And drop the left arm over the left to your deep side stretch. And then turn towards the right foot. Hands on either side of the right foot. We're going to step the back foot up. So your feet are about 1.5 to 2 feet apart. You can come to your fingertips, get long through the spine, and see if you can draw your hip back in your stance. So your hips are square, nice long spine. Bend your right knee just a tad, and then drape your body over your leg. Crown of the head drops down towards the foot. And then take the left hand, you can place it inside or outside the right foot, your call. Start with the right hand on the right hip, pressing into that left hand. See if you can open your chest to the right side of the mat. Maybe even stacking your shoulders one over the other. You can stay here or you can extend that right arm skyward. Gaze can be at the far wall or up at your right thumb. Just try to keep your breath steady. If you fall out, don't worry about it. Just come back to the pose and try again. And lower that right hand down. We're going to step to the back of the mat with the left foot. We're going to take the right hand inside the right foot and extend the left arm up. See if you can bring that left hand behind your back towards that right hip pocket. And turn your gaze up over your left shoulder. If a bind is part of your practice, engage through that right leg so that you can lift the right hand up underneath your thigh and maybe grab onto your left hand, your left wrist, your fingertips, or just stay with your hand behind your back. And breathe. And come on up into Veera B. Straighten the knee and let's heel toe our feet together. Clasp the hands up and place them behind the neck. So give them a squeeze with your thumbs. Give the back of the neck a squeeze with your thumbs and lift the head up off the neck as you bend your knees over your ankles. So you should have this really nice kind of reverse traction feeling through the neck. Then we're going to tip to the right and drop that right elbow to point towards the right knee. And keep that left elbow reaching up towards the sky so you're getting that nice stretch to your tricep. Come on back to center. Same thing, squeeze the back of the neck, lift the elbows up, and then tip to the left. Left elbow towards the left knee, right elbow towards the sky. And then come back to center, arms up, Turn towards the front of the mat into that high lunge position where you're dropping your knee down towards the floor. Try to hollow out the belly so you lengthen through that left hip flexor. Arms are next to the ears. Then press through the ball of the left foot. Get long through the spine, long through that left leg. Really engage here. Draw your ribs together and down, and then bring your palms to your heart. Left elbow goes outside the right thigh. Press your palms to your heart center. You can look at the far wall, or you can look up over your right shoulder. And lower the hands down. We're going to step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. So go ahead and step forward with your left foot into Veerabhadrasana A. Palms together overhead. And just take a few moments to check in with the individual pieces of the pose. So drop your shoulders away from your ears so your neck is long. Make sure your left knee is stacked right over your left ankle. Your right foot, the outer edge, is rolling into the mat for stability. And then moving into Veera B, keep your left knee exactly where it is. Open up that right knee, that right hip, arms out. Gaze is over the tip of the middle finger on your left hand. Left palm towards the ceiling, sweep the fingertips up, right hand on the right leg. Bend the left knee a little deeper as you reach back with the left fingertips. And slowly straighten that left leg as you reach back and bring your body up, arms out, big arm span. Hinge at the waist, extend out over the left leg into triangle on the left side. Left hand goes down, right arm comes up, tuck your tailbone in, flatten out your body and look up to the thumb of the right hand. And drop the arm over the ear, nice long side stretch, gaze to your pinky. And then turn towards the left foot, hands on either side of the left foot. Step the back foot up. Get long through your spine, come to your tips of your fingertips, and then bend the left knee a little bit. Draw your left hip back in your stance, and fold your body over that left leg. Crown of the head drops down. And take the right hand and place it inside or outside the left foot. Left hand to the left hip. Press into the right hand and open your chest to the left side of the mat. You can stay here with your hand on your hip, or you can extend the left arm up. You can turn your gaze to the far wall, or you can look up at the left thumb. And lower the hand down. We're going to step to the back of the mat with the left foot. Place the left, or the right foot, sorry. Place the left hand inside the left foot and reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. Gaze up at the thumb. And you can either stay here, or you can bring your right hand behind your back. You can stay here, or you can add a bind. So the first step in adding a bind is to really press through that left foot. Make sure you've got your weight fully supported as you lift that left hand up. Then you reach underneath that left leg and wrap it up behind you. You may be able to grab onto your t-shirt or to your fingers or to a wrist. Do what works for you. Keep breathing as you go. So your body will tell you when you've gone far enough, because you want to hold your breath. So pay attention to that. And gently unwind. We're going to come on up into a high lunge. So arms are next to the ears. Bring your right foot forward a little bit. Bend the knee. And sit low and try to hollow out the belly. So really lengthen through the right hip flexor. You're kind of curling the sits bones forward through your pelvis. Then press through the ball of the right foot. Get long through the spine, long through that right leg. Feel how strong you are. Get really grounded in the mat. Palms together to your heart. Bring your right elbow outside your left thigh. So plant. And then press your palms together towards your heart. You can look at the far wall or you can look up over your left shoulder. And exhale the hands to the mat. Step back to Chaturanga push-up. Let's lower down. Lifting up, upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. And slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Bend the knees. Let's round all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Press them back and push them down. And again. Okay, we're going to do standing tree pose, but I wanted to give you the option if standing head to knee is part of your practice. I'm going to cue that as well. So it'll work out, don't worry. So if you've never done standing head to knee and you want to give it a try, I'm just going to do a quick demonstration. Middle index finger here. You're going to grab from the inside of your big toe and outside your knee. And then you're going to try to be upright. So get your spine as straight as you can. And then from there, you're going to start pressing through your heel. And you may just go a little bit. You may not be able to go to a straight leg, which is totally fine. The idea is to be as upright as you can. And then from there, extend the leg. So you'll go to wherever your edge is, where you can breathe. I'll invite you to swing your leg open to the side. And then we can bring it back to center. So Blaine, you stay in that. Everybody else, if you don't want to do that, find your tree pose and hold your tree pose. So whichever one is fine. If you're in tree pose, extend your fingertips up towards the sky. I'm going to swing my leg out to the side. Whichever pose you're in, if you're in standing leg, bring that leg back to center. If you're in tree, bring your hands to your hips. Everybody else, bring your hands to your hips. Extend your right leg out in front of you if you're in tree, really engaging through the core. And then we're going to bring the leg through the center, point the toes behind you, drop the chest as you lift that right heel up. I'm realizing it's probably not helpful having me facing you. So you're trying to make basically the letter T out of your body. Your hands can stay on your hips. You can extend your arms forward. If you're extending your arms forward, I really encourage you to check in with your abdominals, have them support you, either way. And then come on up, arms to your sides. So if you did standing head to knee before, do that again. If you're doing tree, do that. So either one, we're going to move our left leg up and place the sole of the foot inside the right thigh, or we're going to grab the left big toe. You decide which one you want to do. If you're doing head to knee, you're going to stand upright first, right? Before you extend the leg. If you're doing tree, your hands are at your heart. Just feeling the breath moving up and down the spine. Standing head to knee, we're going to open our legs out to the sides. If you're in tree, you're going to extend your arms up overhead. Hands back to the heart or leg back to the center. If you're in tree, bring your hands to your hips and extend that left leg out in front of you. You're pressing the sole of your foot to your computer screen. And we're going to bring it through the center, drop the chest, and lift that left leg up behind you. Again, we're going for that letter T. Really engage to your core for balance. Extend the arms forward if you'd like. And come on up. Arms to the sides. So come on back to the top of the mat, palms together at your heart. Let's just take a moment to reconnect with the breath, reconnect with that intention that we set at the beginning of class. Exhale, arms to the sides. Inhale, arms reaching up, palms join, look to the thumbs. Hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. We're gonna just lower our body all the way to the mat. Elbows towards the ribs, lower down. Chest is on the mat. Place your hands, the backs of the hands on the mat next to your hips. Chin is on the mat. Try to glue your heels together, engage through your glutes, your legs, squeezing your legs together. On your next inhale, you're going to inhale, lifting your feet, lifting your chest, lifting your arms, and then turn your palms to face each other. Draw your shoulder blades together and really lift the chest. Keep your gaze down so the back of the neck stays long. And from here, try to use your breath and really smooth it out, even though it's hard to breathe here. Next exhale, just go ahead and melt into the mat. Turn your right ear to the mat and sink. Take a few breaths here, releasing. Okay, chin back in the center of the mat. This time we're going to try to grab our feet in our hands. And this is what it looks like. If this feels impossible to you or just really uncomfortable, do what we just did, glue your heels together and lift up there. If this feels doable, see if you can grab onto the outside edges of your ankle. And then I suggest flexing your feet so you've got kind of a handle to hold on here. And then on your next inhale, if you're doing Shavasana, which is the full extended pose we just did, or you're doing Dhanurasa, this version, take an inhale, kick into your feet, or lift your glued heels up off the mat, lift the chest off the mat. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you so your heart gets the most opening it can get. And then breathe. Your breath makes you even kind of rock back and forth, so enjoy that feeling. Next exhale, just go ahead and melt into the mat. Place the opposite ear on the mat and sink, release, let go. Chin back to the center, hands underneath the shoulders, come to your toes, press up into upward dog or cobra. Press back to downward dog. Bend the knees, look to the hands, and come into a seated position. We're going to join the soles of the feet together for Baddha Khanasana. I'm going to face you here. So soles of the feet are together, hands are back behind your hips. Trying to find the tips of the sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Crown of the head is reaching up. Really breathing into that long spine. And then we're going to take our middle and index fingers here and circle our big toes. And see if you can lean back a little bit, engaging your sits bones and your tailbone a little bit, and extend that right leg out to the right. If the knee is not straight, that's totally fine. Do what works for your body. Try to keep your spine straight. Worry less about your leg being straight. Just find some balance here. And then bring the foot back down, soles of the feet back together. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, find that kind of tripod between your tailbone and your sits bones. Extend that left leg out. Nice long spine. And then come on back down. You know what's coming, right? We're going to do both at the same time. So you've got a hold of your big toes. Find that tripod. And see if you can lift your feet up off the mat. So don't even worry about extending your legs yet. Just lift your feet up off the mat. See if you can feel the balance there. And then from there, you can press into your fingertips with your feet. Your legs don't have to be straight. They can stay bent. Just really experimenting with balance and like, how do we rebalance ourselves when we've been thrown off of our sort of normal way of balancing. So it's kind of a fun experiment. So Mark, you just did what I was going to suggest we do. So I'm going to turn sideways, and you have a couple options of how to get out of this. You can bring your feet down and just lay flat on your back into Supta Baddha Khanasana, or you can keep your legs out and you can roll back and you can stay there, or you can keep rolling and just sort of experiment with what that feels like. So just play around with it for a minute. And then wherever you are, we're going to end up on our back. So when you're done with your play, join the soles of the feet together. You're in Supta Baddha Khanasana. So we're going to place the palms flat on the mat underneath our thighs next to our hips. We're going to press the soles of the feet into each other and really engage through your inner thigh. Squeeze your glutes so your lower body is super strong and active. And then from here, we're going to begin peeling the body off the mat. So one vertebrae at a time. So begin by lifting that tailbone up, squeezing your glutes as you lift your pelvis up, and creeping up the spine. Get into the upper back, the backs of the shoulders, and lifting up as high as you can as your inner thighs are really supporting you here. Your heart is open. The backs of the arms are engaged too. You're using your arms. And then we're going to let our right knee drop down towards the mat. So you're kind of pivoting. You're engaging the core, the sides of the body as you lower the right knee down. And then bring that right knee back up as you draw your navel into your spine. You're trying to keep your pelvis the same height as you go. So going to the left side, same thing. Drop that left knee to the mat and draw the navel in. Lift the legs back up to the same height. One more time, drop the right knee down. Draw your navel in and lift up. And one more time, left knee down. Draw your navel in and lift up. And from here, give one more big squeeze. Press the soles of the feet together, engage the thighs, squeeze the glutes, lift the pelvis, and then slowly roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Draw your thighs together. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left. Put your arms out to the sides and just lower the sole of the foot to the mat so that your knee is up. So your twist is more in the lower back and the right hip. And breathe. You can take your left hand to your right thigh and draw that right knee down towards the mat, moving the twist up the spine. And come on back up. Uncross and recross left over right. Arms out to the sides. We're going to lower the sole of the foot to the mat. Twisting through the lower back. And right hand outside the left thigh. We're going to lower that left knee towards the mat, shifting the stretch more to the upper back. And back up to center. Uncross, draw your knees in towards your body. Give yourself a little hug, rock side to side. We're going to rock end to end next to tailbone. And come on up to a seated position. Backs of the wrists to the knees, index fingers and thumbs joining together. Close down your eyes. Internal gaze to the third eye, tongue at the roof of the mouth. And from these internal postures, watching your breath. And join your palms together at your heart. I invite you to hold the first thing that comes into your mind that you feel grateful for today. Just hold that in your mind. Go ahead and release. Extend your legs out and take rest in Shavasana. I'm going to read you guys a little something while you're in Shavasana. So just lay flat on your backs, close down your eyes, palms facing up in a receptive pose. When I'm among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locusts, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness, I would almost say that they save me daily. I'm so distant from the hope of myself in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees and their leaves call out, stay a while. The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness back to your space, wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring life back to your limbs. And gently roll your head side to side, awakening your spine. When you're ready, roll off to one side. Let your eyes open and support yourself back into an upright position. Namaste. Thanks for coming, you guys. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nikki.
I think you're very welcome. I think that the next class is Tuesday, I want to say the 5th. So plan on that.
Okay, see you then.
All right, you guys have a good week. You too.
Thanks.
Or good 2 weeks. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you. See ya.